Welcome everybody. Today is the third week of HTML and CSS. Last week we just learned the basics of command lines and Git and GitHub. And as you can see, guys, you may revise from this site I just made from the Git repo. I just like it. It's so simple to follow, and all the commands you learned about basics, command lines, you get it here. And for Git and GitHub, you get it here. And at some point, this will be a very good resource to learn Git and GitHub. I will make it a 10-day challenge, and you don't have to go through because it might be by itself a very challenging to finish, but there will be also material to check it out. Yeah, but if you really want yourself to be good at in the command lines and the Git, of course, why not? You can come and check here. So let me just go back to the GitHub. What did we have so far? I think I have to go to GitHub, and we have this HTML thing. Yes, this is our Git repo, and I will put everything here. Week one, most of the thing we learned on week one is something actually related to Git and command lines. So anyway, I will also push it here. Okay, so the repo for that was actually, I go and if I'm not mistaken, it should be, oh, now we have lots of things. Let me check this one. Yeah, this is HTML, and so let's open what we have. It might be opened in other. Yeah, I was working on some projects, so we don't need this, but it has been, oh, maybe in the other. I think I have to close this and maybe. What is this? Yeah, my computer stuck a bit. Yes. Okay. Let me try again. Right click, open. Yeah, now. Okay, guys, do you remember something like this?
Yes.
This was the first day, right?
Yes.
Yeah, now we keep building this, and I can open it to the right by this the Windows key and the right row, and then I make this to the something like this allows me to write code at the same time. So guys, last time also I have seen that asking the terminal opening lots of things. As you can see, if I can open multiple terminal, as you can see, multiple. So you can close them also like this. Yeah. So it is as easy to, yeah, you come here and you open it. Great, and I have everything here. So first we have learned about web development and then front-end, back-end, databases, then tools, and we invest the last week learning about Git and GitHub. I think there was some file here. Why it's not showing here? Okay, let's see the image. The image was, I think, HTML file. This is the image we displayed. And let's see why it is not. Maybe because I have moved it. I will show you how to fix that, because now all my images are in a here in the image folder. So this is how I fix. You can go, but why it should work? Actually, it should work. Okay, then it needs the dot, guys. So the dot is necessary. I didn't have the dot, and so sometimes without the dot it may work on the local machine, but when you deploy it, it may not work. So it's good. Okay, so today we may cover most of the HTML part, or most probably today we may finish all the HTML part. Okay. As you can see here, I think it lacks something. I think we forgot to add declaration. If you remember, the use doc type this, and I told you that this line is actually who can tell me the importance of and what it means this, because it's boring to just me talking about everything. I want answer from you. What does this mean?
Does it mean like what language we are using for our documentation and something like that?
Yes. So this means we call it declaration. And what do we declare? So the whole concept is actually, this is how it goes. I'm just writing random thing. We have HTML text. We have an HTML text. Our HTML text goes to where? Tell me, where does it go? Or render by a browser. The browser could be Chrome or Firefox. And then this render it, that means read it and display this beautiful thing instead of the code itself. So at the top, whenever we write this, we are telling the browser that this is an HTML document and we call it declaration. So this is not a tag. This is not an HTML tag. Instead, it's a declaration. So guys, notice we are not going to come to this part anymore, but it's very good to notice everything I say now. And it's very important also when you learn JavaScript. So what is the root of all elements in an HTML document?
Sorry?
What is the root of what is the root of all HTML elements in an HTML document? I can write it maybe. What is the root of all elements in an HTML document? You see it right away. I made it to be visible for you on the VS Code already. You can see it. Root.
I don't understand what that means in English. I
Root.
don't understand what it.
Root means it's a tree.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's
Yeah, I kind of understand, but I don't understand the question.
okay.
Do you mean body and head and?
Yes, but the root, I'm saying the external, the root of, or the parent of all elements. Okay, let me rephrase the question. What's the parent of all elements in an HTML body, in an HTML document, sorry. What is the root or parent of an
Like heading,
all
head.
Okay, I think you guys, you should see this. It is HTML itself. The HTML tag is the root or the parent of all HTML. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Now, how many children does the HTML have?
Two.
Two. The head and
Body.
body. Great. Now let's get into the head. So it's all the time, if you create an HTML document, so what are you going to have? You should have this as an external, and inside you should have two children, right? The children are going to be the head and the body, and the head will contain the title and some meta tags. Meta tags, I think, let's check the necessary meta tags, because since we are not going to come HTML meta tags, and I will talk about those. Yeah, on W3 School you get almost anything you want. I want to take this copy and I will just copy step by step. This meta tag allows you to read different Unicode characters. So it could be Arabic or anything. So this allows the website to be read. Okay. And the others, actually, this improves search engine, this one, the 2 line, including the 3 lines. Okay, I will add this.
Can you show us where did you find that so quickly, that from that page, that
Okay,
meta?
yeah. For instance, yes, this is the very good thing. Usually, for instance, I got lost to remember those meta tags, right? So this is how I wrote HTML meta tags.
Okay, you put it on the Google.
Yeah, what you should remember is actually the terminology. And then the internet is full of resources, and then you go, of course, I have been on the site many times, so I can grab it right away. So what you should know is just the terminology. Yeah. So now this one, the second line, make your website actually more visible, or more searchable. Can I say it? It can be found so easily. So it improves the search engine. Description, free website. For instance, if it's my portfolio, I can modify this. I am an instructor and developer. I teach HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React, Node, MongoDB, Python, something. So whenever you search about me, this comes. And then this one, author, I leave that like that. What is my name? I just leave it Asadena Itai. And I can add more content because these are keywords. If someone search, I may be also showed up using this keyword, and Python and React whatsoever. So what, okay, let me search something and I will show you, okay? I will 30 days of React. 30 days of React is my website, which I deploy somewhere, and then I will show you somewhere. Oh, it should come to the first page at least. Oh, so the search engine optimization is not very good. Maybe 30 days of React as in one word. But remember, 70% of your users do not go to the second page. So you have to work on the search engine optimization, SEO. Now it came 30 days of this, and it's a bit slow. It should load. Yeah, this is the challenge for 30 days of what is that, React. So if you see what is your 30 days of React challenge is a step by step. This text is actually the one you write here, the description. This is, yeah, something you put is something which comes here whenever you search for a website. Did you get it, guys? Or am I just explaining for myself? Who got it? Just
yes.
one for me.
Yes.
It's not the keyword, but it's more of the description. So anything you put here improves the search engine optimization. So you have to be creative what you put here. And of course, it checks also from the body. By the way, if you are a cat lover, there are lots of beautiful cats here. Who is a cat lover? Maybe it's just very strange to mix cat in here. If you go to challenge 19, you may get lots of beautiful cats all over the world. So you may get something like this. So you can have lots of cats at one place. Actually, all the breeds of cats. And yeah, since the images are so big, it takes some time too. And then I will just share with you if you are a cat lover or dog lover, but no one knows. Okay, just because sometimes I have to connect what I teach with real life projects, then you can associate it. So we're done with the meta tag.
Can I ask you again about the search engine? So
Yeah.
the keywords are for the search engines and also the description.
Yes, both are for
Both.
to improve the search engine. Yes, the search engine optimization. But it's to master search engine. Search engine optimization, by the way, by itself is a career. Okay. Imagine if you have a website and if it doesn't show up on the first page, no, 70% of your customer, based on studies, 70% of your customer doesn't go to the second page. Do you know what they do? They change the keyword. Okay, I didn't, okay, 30 days of React. I didn't find it. Okay, it was not here. Maybe let's just go and see in the second page. Yeah, in the second page it was there. Maybe if I add a challenge, does it? Yeah, now it comes on the first page. Have you seen? But you know, so users will just change the keyword, the search term, instead of going to the second page. So you have to work on to bring your website to the first page. If you bring it the first three, that's great. Yeah. So have you noticed the importance of search engine optimization? It plays a great role in the success of your company. Have you noticed? If you manage to notice, just try to one, and I'm sure you got the point. And that's how I know. Just try it for me. Search engine plays a great role in the success and the profit of a company. Yes. If it doesn't come to the second page, that means it's almost the same as you don't have a website, because users by nature doesn't go to this. Yeah, it was almost the same as you do not have Of course, you have the website, but users do not go to the second and the third and the fourth page. So try your best to bring it to the first page. Great, done with this, the search engine optimization. But as I told you, it is by itself a specialization, and this hint is enough for you. And I think here also we added this, the language. What's the language tag? I usually forget the language tag. HTML language lang tag. Okay. Yes, this here. So language and English. So if it's English, it's good to make this improve also accessibility. We will talk about accessibility means actually, do you know anyone who knows the word accessibility and responsiveness? Accessibility. Anyone? Yeah. Accessibility means making your website accessible to people who have difficulties. For instance, blind people, people who do not use their hand. They may use different devices or tools to access the internet. So as a developer, you can make the websites or the internet as accessible as possible. By most developers, they just ignore, I don't care, I just write some website. There are colorblind people. If you just use any kind of colorblind people do not see your website. What they see is actually black and white or something they can see. So be sure that your website is also accessible to everyone. Yeah, that's accessibility. So one of the tag we didn't use, this line, I will copy and I will talk about. Okay, so if I maximize this, as you can see, viewport, I will talk about what is viewport. Viewport is in a website. This part, something you see is the viewport. The viewport, yeah? Without this, the task or the menu, this is the viewport. Okay. Widths, device widths. Widths equal to device widths. So it doesn't matter if it's a tablet or a TV or a laptop or something like my screen, which is very big. It fits to the device size. That means initial scale is equal to 1.0. That means 100%. So it fits to the device size. This by itself doesn't make it responsive. Okay, now I came up with another fancy word, responsiveness. First, I talk about accessibility. If you remember, accessibility. And now I'm talking about responsiveness. Have you ever heard of responsiveness?
Yes.
What does that mean?
Yes.
It's like you said, so the website, how do you say, it can like fit into your cell phone or on your computer or on your tablet.
Yeah, that's true. Great. So if you are using, if you are applying a responsive design, then your website will be, will resize itself and look good on any kind of device. It doesn't get deprecated, so you can see every part of the website on different devices. Great, so now the heading part is done. Are you happy? Do you have any doubts about the heading part? So this is everything you need on the heading part for the time being. But something I didn't talk about, anything we write like this, we call it attribute. This is an attribute. Yeah. This is an attribute. This is also an attribute. Yeah. It's an and if you have seen this also, it doesn't have any kind of, actually this has, because we close it at the end. So this is an attribute again. So attribute is actually an additional property which gives some information about that HTML tag. Okay, I have to show you again. How do you write an HTML tag? This less than, greater than, your content goes here. And then this. This is an HTML tag, right? Opening tag, closing tag. And the reason why HTML stands for HTML, mark, hyper text markup language. Why we call HTML hypertext markup language? Why? Hypertext means something linked. Hypertext means something linked. Markup means, for instance, if I did mark this as H1, I'm marking it to be very big as a title. If I mark this to be content, I am marking it to be a paragraph, somehow just a normal text. So that's why we call it. Then, since we mark it, the browser is so smart. It knows what it means, and it renders it the way we want. Does this make sense? Did you get this explanation, guys?
Yes.
Yeah, one is good for me. Just type one for me, and it makes you also active, because 4 hours staying here is somehow long for you. So that's a way to connect with me. Great. So we make it very slow, because it's all about how much you understand, instead of just pouring lots of information. Okay, so we learn about now attributes. Okay, anything you add on the opening tag, I think before I delete this, let me tell you, anything you add on the opening tag, we call it attribute. It could be href, or it could be href. Anything can be linked. Actually, href is with what is that? With a anchor tag. Anchor tag, as you can see, you can have the link somewhere here. Yeah, great. So now you know an attribute. Guys, do you understand attribute before I move on?
Yes.
And
Yes.
yeah, HTML tag may have attribute. Do you know all the attributes now? No, you don't know it, but you will expect that something may come here and you call that an attribute. Why you care? Now you don't know, but you are expecting that this may or may not have attributes, and that attribute actually is something which provides additional information about that HTML tag. Whenever you think about an HTML tag, it has an opening tag, a closing tag, and the content. Yeah, this is just the opening tag, the content, and the closing tag. The content means it could be anything. If I say lorem ipsum, and just the lorem ipsum is there. So this is just whenever I say content, some placeholder, some text, something. And this actually has opening and closing. But last time I told you image source, and it's something like this. Where is the closing tag for this HTML element?
The slash and that, the last one. Yes, this one.
Yes, this one is a bit informal. Yes, you are. This is the closing, but we don't consider it as this one. So this has both opening and closing, but this we call it self-closing. By the way, I didn't show you how this is how we comment HTML. This is a self-closing element. Have you seen how you write HTML comment? Comment is actually something you don't see here. It will not be rendered. We wrote something there, but you don't see, but you can leave actually a comment. A comment is a means to communicate with your colleagues, or it allows you to read your code properly sorry guys, at some point in time. You never know, after a month or a year, your code might be just an alien for you. So if you leave some comment on your code, it will be easy for you to remember what you wrote at some point in time. Great. Yeah, did you understand what a comment? So what you need is actually to write a comment, this, and then exclamation mark, and then this hyphen, and it finished for you. Your comment goes here. But you don't write anything outside. Everything I wrote here is a mistake, so everything you should write should be inside you, but that was a note, okay? I was using this as a blackboard, so everything should be inside this. You don't write something outside the HTML tag. Everything should be inside here. Is it clear? Do you agree?
Yes.
Are you not going to do that? Because I have seen that some people do something outside this. Now, if you go for a job and if someone see that you wrote something outside this, it's no go, yeah? Yes, everything should be inside. And also another, rule of thumb, if you write something inside here, I mean inside the head, that's also no go, because this just take a couple of things like the meta tags related to search engine optimization, and also the title, and maybe some style links, and we will come to that later, okay? So and you don't put lots of things on the head section also. Everything everything is inside the body. Inside the body means something you see on the viewport. Great. Nowadays, actually, HTML is becoming so nice. It is semantic. It has some semantic, some HTML elements has semantic values. I think there are some people who studied language in this class. What is that means? HTML element that has a semantic element. What is semantic element? What is semantic here? Who could tell me? Someone who studied language. Or you don't have to study language, just what is semantic means. Yes, yeah, but this sentence, we have a sentence, but it's semantic means, let me tell you, the order in a sentence, yes, the order in a sentence has some meaning. Let me say, does P has some kind of semantic meaning? Does it tell something when you see P for you?
Paragraph.
The paragraph, it's like, yes, paragraph, like what we want to explain or tell.
Yes, so it has semantic meaning actually. Yeah, so it has semantic meaning. It refers something when you see just P. So there is something related to P. It's not just random. Okay, how about H1? When you see H1, does it have any semantic meaning?
Yes.
Yes, great. So this H1 up to H6 has some semantic meaning. And also, do you think UL has some semantic meaning, UL?
Yes.
Yes, because it shows you that it's unordered list. Unordered means it doesn't matter if it is ordered in any way. but we did also order the list here. Order the list is, it has 1, 2, 3. That means it has rank, right? If you rank something and if you just list down something in any order, it's completely different, right? So ordered and unordered shows some difference and it tells something. This has semantic meaning. But now I will tell you about div. Div is actually a section. Whenever you like to create some box, you just write it there. And inside the div, you can write some lorem ipsum because I'm not going to generate. So div actually doesn't have any semantic meaning. It's just a div. Whenever you create something, some section, you write div. So it doesn't have any semantic meaning. So now I want you to think about before HTML5, the HTML version you are learning now is HTML5. Before that, there was no much semantic value elements, but now even we have header. So when you see the header HTML element, what do you think about? That means something we put like on the header. For instance, if you see the website I made, I think it was this one, it has some header, right? This section. And if you see, there is a footer, right? So something like this, the section or the area you create the header, it has already a name, header, and it has semantic meaning. I can make it div, I can make a div and create a header, no problem. But now it's very good to improve your search engine optimization and also for accessibility. For blind people, their screen reader tells that this is the header section. Did you get it? But you can make it if you really, if you want to be cruel and if you want to really like, I mean, of course you don't like, but by mistake, you may ignore lots of people. I think about 15 million people are blind in the world. So if you write, I will come to that. What's the difference between head and the header? That's a very good question. So this is the header, header. So the head is something you put the meta tags and the title, and this is not the part you see, okay? This is not part of the website, which is going to be displayed here, but the header is actually the banner. Most of, for instance, for this website, let's say this is the banner, the title and something. So that's the header part, yeah? Did you get that? Sorry, what does the div stands? Div, just div, I don't know why it stands for, but div is to create a section. You write div just to create boxes, yeah? Different boxes. Okay, so, and then I can write main. Actually, main is good to wrap everything together. I just go all the way down, up to here, cut it and put it inside the main. And then at down after main, I create footer. And inside the footer, copyright 2021, Asa Benaitai. You write your own, guys. So I'm about to create this one, you know. I just made this today in the afternoon. So I'm trying to make to imitate this. So when you see something, when I'm doing at the same time, you know where we are heading, right? So let's see what we have. Yeah, this is what we have. Great. And in the header, we don't have, we don't see the header because there is no color, you know. We will come to that, the colors. So how do we add, before that, before we come to colors, we should learn the proper amount of HTML tags. So we have learned header and the main, and actually also the footer. Great. But I think before we move on, do you have any question?
One question.
Yes.
Is there any difference between with or without div?
With or without? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. The reason you need div, if you want to categorize your section, you need a div. For instance, I may categorize so far. Okay, let me show you. Have you seen this, the front end part, right?
Yep.
And this is the back end part, and this is the database part. Actually, this is the tools part. Let's categorize it with a div, and our code will be more clean. So up to here, it's going to be the div section, one section, and I go again up to here, and then div, and then I put it here, and all over again, I go all the way here. I put another div and wrap up everything. Thank you. You are making my code more clean. And I go all the way down up to here. Yes, the tools section here. And then again, div, as you can see. And now I don't know what this section is going to be. Random section, we don't know. So let's also wrap up this in some div. And this code is so easy to read, and you can even leave some comment. How can you leave comment here? You can just write like this. So this is front end section. So you can copy this part, and I go all here, because your code will be hard to read at some point. The reason why I'm leaving back end. And then at here, databases. Databases, and yeah, you have to, yeah, have you seen when you click here, you see where this ends. Then I need here, tools section. Does it make sense, guys? Have you seen how I categorize? So, did I answer your question?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So it makes the website more sophisticated.
You can call it sophisticated or structured or categorized. And for instance, I have div similar. I can apply similar style or something. I will make use of these similar divs later, and you will see more how important categorizing is. Yeah. Okay, but now our code is as you have seen it.
Sorry, could I ask?
Yeah.
Is the div command, is it for making the website look more nice, or is it just so the code is easier to read?
It's easier to read, and also it's good to make it somehow in a structured way for this. And for instance, when I'm applying the style later, you will see it. We will see it soon how important this will be. Yeah.
Okay, and for the where you put it, I'm sorry, but I don't really get why you put it where you put it. Does it matter?
Because now, as you can see in this div, I have some children. This div has some children, and this div has some children. It's a way to wrap, okay? So once if you create some style for this, we apply the same style for all of them, and all the divs follow the same style. Yeah, so it is easy to apply style. Style means CSS. We didn't cover that yet, but we will come soon and you will see the difference, how powerful it could be. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. But now I may tell you that instead of div, even we can make it even more something different. Actually, let's stay with div, but we can also change it to a section. We've been talking about attributes. Can we apply attributes for instance, H1, it's going to be ID. ID is ID, and I call it title. What is this ID means? Who could tell me ID? Why we call it ID?
Identification.
Yes, the way. And ID, for instance, I don't know who answered this question, but I am a Sabin and I have ID. And that ID serves only for me. You guys, everybody has ID. And that ID is just for you, not a name. A name is just, it's okay, because a name could be duplicated, right? For instance, in this group only, there are lots of Anna, or yeah. So ID is something unique for this one. So once I give this ID, it's not going to be used anywhere else. Clear? It's only for this one. Okay, I can give also there another style. Style is actually also an attribute. So what is this style? Okay, me say color, red, and this. That means actually inside this style, we can write CSS or styling. I can say just color. After the color, I call it color, and I call it red. And now I'm expecting this going to be red. Let's see. Oh yeah. Oh.
How did you get that preview in the visual code for that red color?
Now, by now you should this one. Okay, actually, I think let's go to this color highlighter, color highlights, and then install color highlight. I will give you some time. Now it's very important, guys. Color highlighter. Go to here, the extension, and then here, color highlighter, and then it comes, you click install the way you do usually. And as you can see, it's very popular, 2.2 million users, and now you become one of the users of this color highlighter extension. Let's get back. Okay, how about if you change it to green? How about, and let's see, and it should be green. I opened the wrong. How about if I go here, the header style and background, and if I say black, listen, header, background, black. Oh yeah, it's black. So guys, how about if I just give you 10 minutes, and if you come after you have a coffee or tea or whatever, or after you do some yoga or whatsoever it could be, is that okay? I will see you after 10 minutes. Yep, see you guys. Welcome back again. First, I have to be sure that you see my screen, yeah? So tell me that, just type 1 for me. Okay, then everybody see my screen. Some people do not manage to see the color highlighter. So all the time what you see, what you do is actually, whenever you want to add some extension, you come here, this nice square buttons, yeah? Just extension, click, and then you come to here and search color highlight. The first one, click, and then Just this will be for you green, but for me it's uninstalled because I installed it already. So guys, after you click the install, just close it. Maybe even you can install the color picker. Sometimes it allows you to pick color, but you don't have to. You don't have to. We will come whenever we need it. Yeah, too much information at once, not good. Who doesn't install the color? It's not very important, but it's so now I have to make this to the other side by how do I do that? I think this is the window button, and then to, oh come on, and then to this, and then I need this one. Yeah, have you seen the color is not nice? I think I have to make the color somehow instead of green. I think it's better to make the color actually white. So even I don't have to style here. I can apply style to the, I can apply style here in the parent, on the parent, this is the parent, so it will affect also this one. So I want the color to be color white. Have you seen it gets white? Nice, it's better. So between the black and the new property, we call this property and this value. What are we changing? The background and the value, black. And then we separate that with semicolon. Have you seen it is to the, by default, it's to the left. I want it to be at the center. So again, semicolon, text, align. Yeah, align, and I call it center. Yeah, it becomes center.
Sorry, could you show again the, how do you put the style? I don't know why, but I can't get it to work.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Just write it. It doesn't matter. You don't have to that. You don't have to that. If you write, if you manage to write this, it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, just that's not a must. But in case, you can just go cam and the color, and then you just pick the first one, and then this. Maybe there's a reload or a refresh. When you refresh it, it may work again. There's some. Wait.
Yeah, I don't know why it doesn't work, but
Yeah, maybe when you turn it off and if you open it, maybe it works. For the time being, it's okay if you don't have it, okay? It will come eventually. And it's not very important. Even though you don't see the color, it works.
I couldn't get it to work on the browser. I can't see it.
You have to refresh. Maybe you are.
No, I have a mistake in the code, but I don't know. I write it many times and.
Then just copy and put in this code. That's how I suggest, because maybe you didn't write it properly. Write this. Replace the code I shared with you on the header section. Maybe I can even remove everything I have here and write it all over again for you to see. Yeah, header. You have to have the style attribute. Yeah, this like this. So there's.
Yeah, I find it hard to write the code because there's so many things going on. I can't see where I'm like supposed to put it, or I don't know. It's very confusing.
What did you, can you repeat again?
I think it is like, okay, I got it to work now, but the problem for me, it is very difficult to try to read your code, try to write what you are writing as it is happening. And for me to write my own code, I get lost like super easily.
Okay, so do you have a suggestion not to? Do you have any suggestion of improvement, or so how can I help you?
I don't know, but I just it is very stressful to try to keep up. I don't know, maybe if you could, when you are writing or when you are clicking something, maybe you can do it more slowly, because also I write more slowly than you.
Okay,
So if I like miss 1 second, I'm like totally lost.
yeah, I believe so. Yeah, that's true. I write faster, and if you are not writing faster, you may lost. Yes, something what I can do, I may copy the code and share with you.
Yeah, that would be better because you're moving so fast and I'm like, oh no,
Yeah.
you are like somewhere else now. So that would be
Yes.
great.
The most important here is understanding the concept, not having all the code. So I can
Yeah.
copy and paste, and then you will be all on the same page. Sometimes when you
Okay.
behind, it's not just only for you, for everybody. Yeah.
Okay, thank you
Great.
so much.
Yes. So that's very good. So now I want to write the style attribute. This style attribute allow us to write CSS actually. So we can say background of the header. Oh, I want it to be black. Yes. So it became black, but as you can see, the text is also black. I don't see it anymore. So we have to make that white. So color white, make it white now. And then again, semicolon and text alignment, align center, and it will be to the center. Yeah, yeah, that's great. Even we can write, how many style can we write here? How much or how many, I don't know. How much is, I think we can write as many CSS property text transform uppercase, for instance, to change this to capitalization. As you can see, it becomes capitalized already. Yeah, I have to give you now and then copy and paste, and then you will be at the same stage. Have you seen? Now, but have you seen it's not good, it's tight. Have you seen the space between the top and the bottom is really tight. We call it padding. Padding. So we have to add a padding there. And there will be, padding means this, the top, this, and from this to this. So we can add padding, and I can add padding maybe 25 pixel or 10 pixel. This is just something you experiment. And now if you see there is a space and it feels somehow good, right? It's better. Can we apply the same style for the footer? And actually for the footer, I can just copy this part like this and apply to the footer. Where's the footer? Hey footer, you're here. And even I don't like to just write something like this. I want to put this inside a div. Div, oh no. Div, and inside the div I want to create, and then I want, don't just write some text without any wrapper. So this is wrapped in a paragraph and it has its own section, and this is inside the footer. And then I want to share this with you also, footer part, and here you go. So now if you see, the footer is all the way down, but no need to make this uppercase, because as you can see, it's too loud, right? If you make it, yes, now it feels much better. Yes, even if you don't want this to, if you want also, maybe if it's too dark for you, you can also find some kind of just shade or something like this. Now we have some designers, even at some point they will help us to have like a very good understanding of what design is actually, and we can implement the same to the header. Instead of having too dark color, where is it? Yeah, I can change this, the background, with the new value we have. So it's somehow not very dark, but some kind of color. Yeah. How is it going, guys? Is it going okay? May I know? It's quiet. Did you understand everything I have covered so far? So your website's growing. At the end of this training, I want you to have your own website, your own portfolio. And it would be even nice if you deploy it with a proper domain name. And then you learn the process, okay? Yeah, I will slow down. So I will talk and you will catch me up by copying the left, yeah? This is something you didn't cover so far. Okay, so now let's create a different page. Maybe that's a very good thing because now we have covered some of the parts, but how about, is a website all the time a one page? No, it could be many pages. Even we can also have different images to make like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and you know how to import different images like image and source, and inside image I have lots of things, for instance CSS logo, and then I think last time I shared with you the different images. Do you remember? But if you need, even I can share with you again. I think I can share with you guys my if you don't have, maybe you need to learn also React at some point. Yeah. So are you having them? Yeah, I shared with you again. So now if I want to also display again image, you can just write image like this and tag. Oh, image, it didn't work. Like this. And then start closing. /, I go to the image folder and look for JavaScript. Do I have JS logo? Yes. Where is it? Maybe it's somewhere already.
I think the closing tag, you know, of the second image.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you. You're so awesome. Yeah, I forgot to close that and it didn't show for me. So download the images I shared with you and then you should manage to. And actually, in addition to the source, it takes attribute, another attribute, ALT, and then you should give some information. Let me write something here. HTML logo. And let's make some mistakes here. Okay, S. Have you seen HTML logo? Because the path, we don't have this file. And because of that, it shows the alt. Alt means here actually alternative. Alternative means if the image doesn't show, it shows the alt. So HTML logo. Actually, for screen readers, for blind people, they don't see the picture, but it tells them that when they reach here, it tells that there is an HTML logo. I have to turn it on. So please add alt to all the images to make it more accessible. But if you don't put that for text reader, it doesn't say anything. For blind people, doesn't understand what's happening there. And then again, JavaScript logo. But if you put something like this, the screen reader just read it that there is an image and that image is actually some logo or a flower or a house. Does it make sense? Did you get the idea of ALT or the alt? Yeah, most of the time we ignore this, but really it's very important. It's very important. I think based on European regulation, even after 2020, every public website should be accessible. It should be really accessible to blind people. Private companies' website might not be, but public should be. They should be based on some regulation. So if you learn also accessibility very well, you are increasing your chance of getting a job, because every public website should be accessible. Yeah. So we know now how to add images for sure, but can we add different pages? Because we don't have many pages. Maybe if this is your website, how about if we have different, I think I don't see my nav, so I want to have many pages. How about if I have about page.html. So I'm not going to write everything. So I just write this HTML and click this. I call this about page. And then inside here, I may write header, not like header, h1, about me, main, and the footer also. Do you remember? If you remember, I put everything this inside another div actually. If you remember that, did I put that like this? Yeah, I didn't do that, but sometimes we need to do that, or you don't have to, but I want to put everything again inside a div, because it helps you later to organize. So now, as you can see, I have div, the external div, then the header, the main. So h1 here again. Oh no, not h1 actually. Lorem. Okay. Lorem. I can go 5 times. Yeah, so it will be lots of pages. Now I can close this page and open the about page. Oh. Yeah, this is the about page. And instead of just writing different footer, in most websites, the footer will be the same, right? So I think there's something which I didn't close here, guys. So it should be closed here. So I can just duplicate the footer. Footer is the same. Yeah, so I have a footer here. Great. Even the header is actually most of the time the same, the structure of the header. So I can even copy the header, but it's a bit different. This here says web development. Yeah. Now the idea is, now I can see only the about page. How can I connect 2 pages together? The 2 pages together. Yes, we have to know how to connect the 2 pages together. Okay, great. So what we should do actually, first we have to create unordered list, and then list, and then anchor tag, and then slash index.html. And then I call here home. Yeah, so if I click here, it takes me to the home page. But why it didn't take me the home page? Let me check. Is this inside? Because even next, since I want to deploy it, I want to take this outside the week 1. Or maybe I want to have a copy, because I can put that there. Or take it out. Yeah, I want to take it out. Maybe I can just leave that there, but I want to have like a copy of that and then work after. Copies, by the way, as easy as that. And let's believe that. Oh, why I don't manage to copy here? I thought I managed to copy. Oh, let's see, copying here. Yeah, okay, I can copy it here and then take it out. But it should, then I can rename this again, index.html. Now it should somehow work, as you can see, but the images didn't show up because the images are actually referring to week 1. So why? So we can keep the images there, but what I should change is actually the reference. Okay, I will show you how we fix the images. So images, because I'm referring from here to week 1. Yeah, so where are the images? First, I have to go to week 1 and then images. Now it starts showing it. I have to go to week 1 and then images. It's a path. Week 1. Did you get the point, guys? This is just, yeah. So now if you go back, actually this take me to the home page, but this one doesn't have any link. So let's back to the about page, and then we need also another list, and then href. How about about.html? We may have also contact, yeah, list, and then about contacts.html, and we say contacts. And maybe you may have projects. We will add that later, okay? But we have now, it's a kind of navigation. If you go back, oh, I forgot to write here about. So you have to write about. Maybe you are now a bit behind me. How about if I copy this and share with you? Have you seen now my contacts? So you have to have both this in the home and any pages, because now if you go to the home, you don't have navigation. So I have to add that in my navigation. Where? At the head. Okay, where's the head? Here, next to the title. Yes, now, as you can see, you have a very beautiful navigation, home, about, contacts, but it's so difficult to read, yeah? So difficult to read because HTML without CSS, it's not very fancy, but we will make it somehow beautiful with a minor CSS, okay? Yeah, and it's also from top to bottom, so we can also make it horizontal instead of vertical. Okay. Great. Are you following me? Now, if I click this, it doesn't go anywhere. But if I click this, it has to go to here. If I click here, it has to get me back to here. If I click to contacts, where am I going? Guys, tell me.
Oh. Nowhere, because you didn't create contact.
Such a lovely answer. Nowhere. Yeah, we don't have contacts, so create it. Let's create that contacts.html. And just to make it faster, I think it's better to copy this, copy and paste. Now I'm teaching you how to copy and paste, and you will end up a copycat Don't be, no, it's not good. If you copy, sometimes you just make lots of mistakes. Contacts, and then contact me, and you will keep, I think now if you click, it's going to take you to the contact me page, but most of the time, I have to make this also smaller. Contact should be not text like this. What do you need contact most of the time? If you go contact page, design or something, you see something, I will show you something like this, some first name, last name, email, company, and the message, and then Google Map. And it's not Google Map, but contact me most of the time. We can also use that, but now actually just let's learn how to add input fields, okay, instead of this text. So we don't need this text. So maybe we need a div, yeah, and it's not in the header. Oh no, sorry. I think we need this the navigation, but we don't need this text lorem ipsum because it's not important. Okay, you need a div. Oh, sorry, again, div, and then you need a form. A form is actually, when you write just a form, you get form. But let's just ignore form. Let's write input. Input and write something like this. Input. Nice. Have you seen this? Yeah, Control Z on the Control Z help you to undo. Okay, have you seen this? And then actually this takes maybe placeholder, first name. Have you seen it? And yeah, this is how. Then another input. Maybe you may also need a label actually. Label, you can write as something. For, I want to give ID for this. You can write the ID, first name like this. Have you seen? And the label is also first name. If you, I want to show you, I think by making like this. Yeah, first write this one and then label, first name. This label actually comes here. Have you seen this? This. Then you know what you're supposed to put here if you see first name like that. But sometimes when you click here, it should the curve. Have you seen? Whenever I'm clicking here, the input field is active. Look. Yes, that is because these four first name and ID first name are the same. That means the way to connect this level to the input. If I change this, for instance, first names, if I just add something there, it will not be connected anymore. Look at it. It's not. Oh, sorry. It's not. So undo Control Z. Now, if I click, there it is. Where goes the input? What do you mean by on the contacts page? If I understood your question, Baptiste. Oh, we will come to that later, okay? Yes, we will come to that later. I think you asked me a very important question, but too early to answer your question. Yeah, but I will answer that. Okay, great. First name. So now we did for the first name. How about similarly if we we can do faster for the last name. Okay, last name. So first you should have the label, last name. And again, you have to just say last name. And again, you have to create another input like this. By the way, the input type, it takes text. This also type, the type is text. But you can change the type. If I change the type to box, I mean, for instance, radio, it will be radio button. Have you seen? Radio. If you change the type to checkbox, it will be a checkbox, something like that. So we will come to that, but the default is actually text. If you write or not type, it doesn't matter, but just write text. We also write it here text, but by default is also a text. And you can put placeholder again, and I call it again last name. You can put a name or not, last name. Okay, first name, last name. What's next? Actually, email. We need an email. So if we want this to be in one line, so we have to wrap these guys in one div. Have you seen? Div. So I can put them in one line. And then the next will be another div, and then label, email, email. And then input, it's going to be ID. I call it email, placeholder, email, your email, your email. So actually the type for email is actually, we have to make it email. The reason why, actually, if you write just the text and if you submit, it doesn't allow you. So by putting type email, it only takes email. Great. Now we are left with one, maybe company name, company. And then I call it also company. And then the label, I mean the input, type text, placeholder, and company. I have to have ID here again. ID also company to connect both. Now, if you click here, have you seen the import? Oh, this is not connected. So last name, where is it? Last name ID. Last name. Now, when you click, yeah, click, good. So this increases actually the accessibility. Whenever you click, you have the chance to. Now, what's left is actually the text area, the message. Now we create another div. Yeah, as you can see now, this allow us to create different section. Div. I can say label, message. Leave your, oh no, your message here. You can be as polite as possible, or I don't know, text area. Now it's not the same as that, text area. This is how you write it. Have you seen? By default, it's something like this. So far I didn't tell you how to break. Have you seen this? This and this are at the same line because it is a non-blocking element. I will talk about blocking and non-blocking element after this. But now non-blocking elements, they sit together next to each other. So this label and text area are non-blocking element. Of course, this and this are also non-blocking element. If elements sit together next to each other, they are non-blocking element. Blocking elements do not allow other elements to sit next to each other. Like the case of the Finnish bus, okay? For instance, in Finland, if the bus is full, of course, it's okay to sit next to someone. But if there is free space, it's not polite to sit next to someone, is that? Maybe I think that's what I know. Maybe I may understood it wrong. Is that true? Let's see. The Finns may say something. What's polite? If the bus is, yeah. So yeah, but for instance, in my culture, it doesn't matter. There's no such a thing. But in Finland, if the bus has some free spot, I think it's polite to sit on the free spot. Yeah. But if it's full, I think it's okay to sit next to each other. So let's say the Finns are more of like a kind of blocking elements. Blocking elements doesn't allow other elements to come next to each other, to the left or the right. It takes the whole space. So we will come to talk about blocking and non-blocking elements. Okay, so now just to make some separation between this, to make we use this, the break line. The break line allow us to have some breaking. Yeah, have you seen? And yeah, that's good. Yes, I will go a bit further and I will share with you a bit. So this is the last I'm coming to that. So now, as you can see, this is too small, so it's not nice. We can add actually some columns. Let's see, by adding columns, how many columns do we want? 10 columns more. It's already, is that okay? Let's go about 50 columns. Maybe I think 80 columns is good enough. Okay, let's see how it looks like. Yeah, this is how it looks. Since I think I go for 50 is okay. And rows, these are attributes, and then I go for 10. Yeah, so we have a message. Then, can you be a bit slow down? You're going so fast. Okay, as you guys told me, if I share with you this, it would be nice, but let me just write the next. Can I add also placeholder here? Here we can add placeholder here, like this. Leave right here. Something like this. Have you seen it? Or you can write here, right here, something like this. Whatever you want. So I prefer the first one. This right here. So, okay, now I'm left with one section div. And then where are we? Like we need another input type. And actually, I want to add this all the time. It works without this, like this, but I want to be closed like this. This is more the standard. The type is actually now submit. Submit. It's like a button. Have you seen? I got already a button, submit. And value, submit. I didn't close it. Submit. I have to refresh it. As you can see, the values, submit. Now I can share with you guys, but this value, all this value has to be, I think, up to where? Yes. This stop here, this stop here, this stop here, this stop here. Instead of this, I can wrap everything using, of course, I can call this one, but I can leave this as it was, and inside here, I have to have a for. I don't need this action for now, just I need a for. Inside the for, I have to paste what I have, everything I have. So I want to give you this code, yes. because it's the last version. Here you have, guys. So someone asked me, then after we collect this information, for instance, as you can see, some write your, where are you? I would like to collaborate with you. Please give me some information about your project. And it's my name, my email, and some company name, coding for all whatsoever. Then you click here. And now it's your question. Where is it going whenever we click here?
Nowhere.
Yes, nowhere. Yes, so you want to answer this question. So is that you who asked me already this question?
Yeah. But I think there's a link with after. I think you have to create like a folder, and you can send all this information to another like file, and after you can exploit it. Yeah, I don't know.
Yes. So, but thank you for asking this question. It's a very good question. So this is something you write on the back end, in the front end. So you have to connect this with a backend technology. It could be Python or Java or Node, any backend technology or programming language. Then that will handle this data to be sent or to be stored, to be sent directly to this, to the people, or to be stored like as in a data. So there should be, it should be connected to a backend technology. So you will not learn in this class.
But in Python, we can learn that with the Python class. We will maybe learn this.
The what class? The Python.
The Python, yeah.
Yes, in the Python class also, you will not learn how to connect backend with some front-end technology. That's also more you learn Python programming as programming, and you learn other things. Actually, you learn web scraping, you learn data analysis, how to use Python for data analysis. But this is somehow a web and a web technology which has both front end and back end. It's a kind of full stack approach.
Okay.
Yes, but once after you learn the back end, yes, you will be able to. After you learn the Python, you will be able to connect it. Yeah, you will be in a good shape to connect that. But just not only Python, you should also add the Flask. So if you follow 30 days of Python, it has a full stack project, one full stack project. It's specifically for Baptist guys. Okay, yeah, we finished this contact form. So let's get back to home. And then if you go to the contact, actually you have this kind of page, but your contact page is not good. Yeah, later we will style this to make it look much better. Yeah, great. Now you know how to what is this? How to make different pages. As you can see, we have 3 pages, and the 3 pages have been connected, and we can navigate between the pages. Yeah, but still, the home page has some kind of a fancy header, but the other pages do not have. So let's add the same header. Yeah, how do I apply that? I think the best way is just copy this part and apply to all of the parts there. I just copy this and apply to the about. Where's the about page? Okay, I go here and just paste. And instead, what I should do is I just add here, maybe inside. The best way is actually I can add h1 about me. That's much better. And then again, I apply the same thing on the contacts. Instead of here, I just then before here, I can just write, or maybe here, H1, contact me. Oh no, contact me. So now when I'm navigating from page to pages, it may not jump. Okay, I have this. Yeah, but still now it's somehow much better, right? I have the footer and the header the same, the about the same, and the contact it's the same. But yeah, I think you may not like this color. It's really hard to see it. How can you change it to white, similar white? How can I change the color of this? It's really hard for me to see it. Maybe it might be hard for you also to see this. We have to format it, right? Yeah, let's start from the home page. That means the index page. And actually this is like this one, right? The list. Are we going to style the list or the anchor tag?
The home we will change. I don't remember the name, but not the reference, but after.
Okay, here.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe here. Yeah, I think.
Okay. Yeah. Let's. I'm writing react to it. Color. Maybe I think white, as you said. So we have to go to the home page. Oh, my white has got a typo. Nice one. Yeah, we managed to. But why didn't change the others? Because I applied only at this one. So I have to apply for all of them. So it's so tiring, right?
Yes.
And imagine I'm about to change all of them like this. This one, and also the other pages. So I have to come up with a different way. Now we are about to talk style. This style, this is how you write style. So its style is actually an HTML tag. It has opening tag and closing tag. And inside you write actually CSS. How do you write CSS? Now we are targeting the A. So since we are targeting A, and then we need curly bracket like this. And then instead color white, and everything will change at once. That is so easy than writing like line by line. We don't need this. I targeted all the A at once and they are white now.
And if you want like two color, like you use the A for all the A, but in the A, if you want to split them in two colors.
Welcome to that. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Sorry.
Yes. Great. Now I managed to change all A's in my website. Anything A is now white. At least in which one? Even now only the home page. If I go to the about page, everything is the same. But we will deal about that later. Where is the curly bracket on the keyboard? Oh, for a German keyboard, for English keyboard, it might vary. So I don't know. For me also, I'm using the United States keyboard. Maybe I can show you what keyboard are you using. I can show you where you can find. What English, British, is that UK or what? Because there are different keyboard. If you see here, for instance, as you can see, I have different keyboard. I'm using United States in Mac option plan. Okay, Okay, that's very good if you are using Mac, but I think Carola is using Windows. Yeah, so what keyboard are you using? Now, as you can see, I'm using the United States keyboard. Is that United Kingdom or? Okay, UK. Now, what I can help you is like this. Google is so friendly. UK keyboard. So let's see an image, and let's see Windows. This should be then the key. Oh, please. Have you seen somewhere around? I think even you can try it with Shift somewhere next to the Enter. Carola, how is it going? Did you manage to find it? I'm using, and it is, let me check, yeah, for United States, Shift and this one, Shift and this keyboard. And to write this one again, Shift and this. Actually, when I write Shift and this, I click this key, I get this. Let me check if another much better. Okay, great, Carola. How about Arpana? Okay, for Finnish keyboard, let me try change end to Finnish and let me. Who can tell for Windows Finnish, Windows fast? For me, I have to try it because I can remember it fast. But in the meantime, let's try to finish and try to write it. What was it? Alt. I think Shift. Oh yeah, this in Finnish keyword, the Alt-GR, Alt-GR plus at the top, there is top means 7 or 8, plus 7 or 8, this. Try Arpana and let's see the, that's the Finnish keyword. For me, I use.
What is this Alt key?
Yeah, yes, you have it if you are using Finnish keyboard.
Yes.
Yeah, plus 7.
Plus 7.
Let me try also writing here Alt plus. Okay, let me try it again. Why? Oh, I changed it. Oh, I have to get back there. Wait. Yeah, a 7.
Yes, yes, I got it. Thank you. Yeah.
So
yeah, it works.
Great, guys. Learn your keyboards You should remember when it comes to programming, almost all the punctuation marks can be used for programming or for coding. Coding is almost like using all the punctuation mark, colon, semicolon, like exclamation mark, the square bracket, parenthesis, curly bracket, all the punctuation mark in the English language can be used for programming. So you should know them as fast as possible and learn typing, okay? Typing is very important sometimes. Yeah. You don't. Can we have a quick break? Yes, I forgot to tell you to have a quick break, and let's have a break of 10 minutes again, and we will be back after 10 minutes. Thank you, and let's pause it here. Welcome back, everybody. So let's move on. This is what we have. This is what we have so far. I think our page is looking great, right? So as you can see, everything is on one page. So we added another additional about page. Your about page also looks like this, but as you can see, the footer is actually hanging. It is supposed to be here, and we do that later in another time, not today, because it needs more CSS to apply. And then the contact, as you can see, the contact has also some fields to add and to send the information to backend server. But we don't implement the backend connection. The front end is enough. At some point, we have to make this as beautiful as possible, because the main goal of this course is to learn HTML and CSS. Yeah, great. So now you know how to connect, but this is so hard. So at least we have to make every navigation or menu as in like white, as easy possible to look at it. So let's apply some CSS. So I think I can also make this to the right. How about if I put it something like this? If you remember, just by coding A, and then curly bracket, color white. Great. Actually, we can also remove the underline. Have you seen the underline? Text decoration. Text decoration. Oh yeah, it's the Finnish keyboard, and I have to change it to other keyboard. Okay, text the decoration, none. Have you seen? No, now you don't see the lines. Yeah. Oh, great. Okay, do you like these dots, guys? Maybe you don't like these dots. Do you?
No.
No. So shall we remove that? Do you think where this dot is coming from? If you remember, the ordered list is something like this, and the unordered list is something like this. So this list is actually, this dot is coming from the unordered list. So we can select, that means because we have here. So let's target this one, ID, and let's see list, and let me try to, we didn't learn yet ID, so I will come to that. Okay, just let me target by list, and then text, not actually, is that text? List style. The list style is going to be none. We don't want to have a style. Actually, you can call it also disk. If you say it disk, something, what? I think disk, is it disk? No. How about, let's see. Circle, that's the circle. Yeah, have you seen it? So the disk is already, that one is the disk. Yeah, but the best thing sometimes, the VS Code, you write list, then style, and after you write the colon, wait for it, the different kind of, none is just removing. circle some lower Roman number, you know. For instance, if that means I1, I2, if you write Roman, no, not Armenian. Yeah, but so I don't know what that is, but lower Roman, I know what it means. Yeah, this Roman. So you can modify this order, by the way, but now we don't need anything. So I want to remove that. Now it feels good, right? It feels good, at least. And also it's tight. Have you seen tight? It's really tight. So we can apply margin between this. So if I apply margin, just 5 pixels, there will be space between this. Even if you go more, for instance, 15, it will be some kind of space. Yeah, now it's again. Yeah, I will, okay, let me show you the difference between margin and padding, okay? I think Zoom has this very good annotation, so give me some time, okay? I will write something. Can I do something? Oh no, this is not what I want. So I have to have a drawer. I have to remove this. Maybe draw something, and I want to have a rectangle. Do you see my rectangle, guys?
Yes.
Yes.
Good. You have to really watch this. I'm not joking. This is very important. And you will use this concept all the time in your career as a developer. So every HTML element is like this box. Yeah. Every HTML element is like a box on the page. Okay. So imagine this is an HTML element. Then let's do some text. Content. Have you seen this content? How do I move this? Content. I don't need that. Okay. Great. So you see the content, right? So imagine that this content is inside your HTML. Now I want to write some, I think if I'm successful, but I want to make this to the center. Okay. I haven't practiced much how to use that. So let me, yes, great. Yeah, one, another one. Don't worry about the direction. I may make it. Because this is very important. I'm using this as a Blackboard, okay? So I'm not writing on it, so don't worry about that. Do you see something here? You had the box, and the box means actually, now, can I write on here? Okay, now let me just remove, and maybe if I may write, if it allows me to write, let me just associate that with, imagine this box. It's like, anything we write on HTML element, it's something like this. If it is H1 or P whatsoever, it will be like a box like this. But let me remove those dots. Eraser. Yeah, like this. Okay. So if you have this, then this is, you can consider it as a frame, a photo frame. If it is a photo frame, which one is the border?
The white outlining.
Hmm?
The white outlining?
Yes, this one is the border. This is the border. Great. This is the border. And which one is the padding?
These arrows?
Yes, these arrows are the padding. The distance between the content and the free space. These are the padding. So what word did we learn so far? So border, padding. And what's left? Margin. This area between the border and the free area are the margin. Okay, now I want to ask you, did you get those terms? This is the border, padding, margin. So now if we are talking about border, we can say border top, border bottom, border left, border right. Padding top, padding bottom, padding right, and padding left. And we can say again margin top, margin right, margin left, and margin bottom. We can say. Did you get this? Is we call it CSS box model. CSS box model. When you go to the interview, maybe for front-end position, so they may ask you, could you please write down CSS box model, or can you explain to me what CSS box model is? If you don't understand this, it is no go for front-end position. Okay, it's no go actually, because this is the foundation. If you don't know this concept all the time, you make mistakes. It takes you a long time to fix some CSS. Okay, margin is this, the free area, the free area. So can I duplicate this? But I will repeat it with a CSS, another box, so you will understand it. Okay, now let's do some, I can leave this one, this, what is this? Zoom is so nice, it allows me to use it as a blackboard. So now let's implement what I was talking about here on the, maybe somewhere on the bottom here I can implement. So let me go down and write. So as I told you, you can't write outside of the HTML. That's illegal. Of course it's not illegal, but don't do that. Let's do inside the main section. I can write div. I want to create this a div, so I can say style. So style widths, I can give a width for this, but I don't like to give it a width, just I like to write some content. I can just write content. Have you seen content here?
Yep.
Yes, but you don't know how far it is. Do you think it just occupies this area, or do you think it occupies the whole area?
The whole area?
The whole area, because it's a block element. Remember, like the Finnish Basque case. So there are block elements. I will show you the block elements here. The block elements are H1 to H6. Oh no, don't do that. And P, don't do that. Div, header, footer, main, section, we didn't talk about section yet. Article, we didn't talk about yet that. These are block elements, just few of them. Okay, non-block elements, non-block elements. Can you tell me some? If you have seen image just, it doesn't matter, it sit next to each other. Anchor tag, if you have seen that. Label, if you haven't seen that. Input. Span, we didn't talk about span yet. Small, it's also an HTML element. We didn't talk about that yet. All these HTML elements are non-block elements. Just as a note, I will put them just on, I can create a file called notes.nmd. nmd is just, I can put it here, markdown extension. So don't worry about this file. Okay, and I have to remove what I have here. Oh, no, I don't do that. What I have here, I think actually it's removed. Now let's work on this content, on this div. So how about if we see, how about if we apply border? Border is equal to actually 2 pixel, and it should be solid and red. Have you seen actually as what was this? Somebody said that it takes the whole width. Yeah, it took actually. Yeah, have you seen it? It took the whole width. So now we gave it a border. How can we add padding? So as you can see, whenever you apply a border, you have to mention the thickness of the border. If you give it 20, it will be really big. Have you seen? Oh, it's so thick. So, but it's 2 is. Now let's give it padding. If we apply padding, what do you expect?
Change inside the box.
Inside the box, it will be wide. So let's give it, for instance, 10 pixel. Have you seen? In all direction. But actually, we gave it in all direction. If I am interested to give it the top, only the top, I can give it 50 pixel or 10 pixel. Have you seen only the top side? Yeah, guys, did you notice the one I was talking about?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, now I want you to associate this. Still, we didn't remove it. It's here. It's more than a blackboard, right? This, yeah, because still we have it, and we can also practically see what's happening. What's the difference between margin and padding? Anna, I am answering that. Are you following that? Please follow me here. Okay. So did you understand, guys, what the padding is? I want you to write 1 if you get padding. 1. I want you to write 1 if you got padding already. Padding is the inside part. For instance, this one, have you seen it? It's very close to the border. Tell me what to write here to push it a bit to the right. Tell me what is supposed to be there.
Text center or text
Padding.
padding. Yeah.
Padding left. Padding left. If I apply, for instance, 50 pixel again, it will be, have you seen? So this distance and this distance is now the same, but I didn't give it any padding to the bottom. If you want, you can apply it again. Shall we apply it? Padding bottom. Now it's going to be again 50 pixel, or you can give it different actually. Now, yes, this side, this side, this side has. But actually, it's better to write in one line of code. Just, you don't have to say, just 50 can apply for all the direction. You can specifically target the bottom, the top, the bottom, the left, the right, or the left, or you can give a general like this. Now you've been asking me what's margin. Okay, have you seen this distance, guys? The distance between this tip and this border? maybe you don't want this to be very close, so you want to push it down. So that is margin. 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 So what is the direction of this? Oh, tell me, guys, you know direction, right? What's the direction of this space?
Up.
Up. So that means top.
Up.
Yeah, margin top. I want to maybe 25 pixel will help me to make somehow some space. And also, if you see, this is also just almost at the same line. So you want also to create some space this. So you want to push or to create some space here. What to tell me? Margin?
Down.
That means bottom. Yes. 25 pixel or anything you want. Okay, guys, another question again. Did you get what margin is? Again, yes. I want you to write that. And again, I want you to tell me again, did you get the difference between margin and padding? Again, type me margin and padding if you got it. Okay, that means you understood CSS box model. Yeah, great.
As I have a question.
Yes.
Just when we remove the on the navigation, oh, sorry, my dog. On the navigation, we remove the dots on the left side.
Yes.
But we remove from all the lists.
Yes.
The dots.
Yes, that's true.
If we put like the navigation in the div, so that means we will just remove from the box, the navigation box, and not from the rest.
Yes, yeah. You've been like curiously following, and you have noticed that we removed all this, like, so maybe others do not. I will come to that, how to select specifically. Yeah. Now, guys, like selecting by tag name, this is list, and we call it a tag name. This is a tag, right? Header is a tag, and it's a tag name. This is a tag name. Selecting by tag name is not a very good approach. Instead, we use ID. For instance, if you remember, we gave here ID. What's the ID here? Tell me the ID of this.
Title.
Title. So let us select hash. First, you have to write hash, then title, and then curly bracket. Color, I want to be red. So now I change this to red, but I don't want to be red, but just some kind of something like this for the time being. I don't know why that looks good or bad, but I'm just showing you that we can select by ID. Again, now I like to give this ID and I call it menu. Because this is the menu part, right?
Yes.
So if I want to select again menu,
hashtag menu, and
if I want to change the background color of the menu, I can just show you green or something, everything changed, right? But that's not my plan actually. So how do I select that list? Go to the menu, and from the menu list, have you seen this way of selecting? Go to the menu, that's the menu here, and then select the children of all the menu list, and it's going to be this value. Then I will remove this list and apply. Then as you can see, the others are not affected. Have you seen?
Yes, that's
great. Now we're talking about ID, the beauty of ID, because we are just targeting by ID. If I'm calling Sebastian, no, I mean Baptiste, it refers to Baptiste. Actually, there might be also another person by name Baptiste, but if I call him by his ID, he should say Yes, it's me. It's me. Yeah. So you only affect those which has that ID. Now this ugly green color is not good, but I may just maybe some background color. Maybe you can undo. Maybe some kind of just light for some time, just to make a difference, guys. But the design is not good. So even now, as you can see, I want them this to be in one line. So I can say display inline block. That means, have you seen it changes? That means now I'm changing the block element because list is block by nature. Now the block element has been changed to non-blocking element. This one. I think you guys understand this. Shall I remove the one I wrote on the blackboard? This can I?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I will take my razor and please remove. Or maybe I think there should be remove everything at once. Clear all drawings. Yeah. I don't know. Yes. Great. No drawing anyway. Thank you. How is it happening here? Is it clear this, the one I did now? Yeah, but the other pages are still the same. So before this lesson, before we close this lesson, we apply the same, we apply this to every page. Now actually having this navigation makes it somehow different, yeah? So we have to apply that. And now you learn that, I mean, this called, I call it, what is that? ID, great. So I think who asked me about the importance of wrapping everything in what is a div. Now I will show you class, and I call this maybe section or maybe category, or you can call it anything, section or section 1, you can call it section 1, and or backend front-end section, you can give it any name you want, and then section 2, and class name section 3, class name section 4. Oh, this is just the random section. So the section we don't have much thing, I mean, important. So now if I want to apply the section, but I think my naming was not good, because whenever you give a section, I mean a class, the name, all the names should be the same. But I can give instead, I can give it section, and I can leave this one section 1 and section and section. So we can have 2 classes and section. I will explain that. Do you understand what I'm trying to do here, guys? Why I gave them this one, but I think it's better if I delete this, and it makes easy for you to understand, just having one section for all of them, and it makes things so easy to understand. Yeah, let me show you. This is how we select a section. You can write here or here. You can write it anywhere you want. Maybe, I think this is how you select a section. Why? If I just select the div, I can show you div. And if I apply border, and I call it a 2 pixel solid, and if I say green, you may say, have you seen? Everything is like, everything has a border. Yeah, but this is not what you want. No, I think what I want is actually only these guys to have some kind of common border, for instance, the section part. Now, as you can see, only the section part got some kind of the same border. And if I want also the same margin, I want margin, usually you write top and then right and then left and bottom. This is how you write. So if I write something 10 pixel to the top, that's actually, is that clockwise, anti-clockwise? I don't know. 25 pixel to the right and 50 pixel to the bottom and 5 pixel to the left. That means, as you can see, you can even see this is a small because this is a small, and the top 10, it's somehow okay. And the 50, as you can see, the bottom is 50, but we can just make it 50 for all the directions by writing like this. Have you seen now? These are the sections. We applied the same style. Have you seen the importance, guys, now? The importance of categorizing in a div is you can create such kind of a box and you can apply similar style. And if you see this, you can also again add a kind of a padding. So let me add also padding is the inside section. For instance, I can apply again 30 pixel and everything. It has some space. Guys, did you manage to connect what we have talked at the beginning?
Yes.
Yes.
Can I ask you one? Can I ask you one question?
Yes.
Whenever you want to have this box as the size of what is written there inside, the right side of the space, whenever you want to fix the size or
Yes.
the pixel of the right side of the text, is it padding or right side of the padding or right side of the margin?
Okay, yes. If I understood correctly, guys, can we proceed up to 9? Because we to save the lost minutes, also to wrap up, to connect everything together and to make it a meaningful lesson. Can you donate 15 minutes?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you for your donation. So if I understood correctly, you are talking about widths. So we can limit the widths of that box actually. For instance, if we make it 25 pixel, it will be very small. Have you seen it? Is that what you're asking? The size of...
Size of the, yes,
the box, but
so it is all depending on what you're writing. If it's going to be very short,
yes. So it's not a good idea to give it a size, a fixed size, because as you have seen, you never know how much size your text going to have. So just leave it as a default. But if I give it a width, for instance, if I give it about 600 pixel, it will be somehow large. And if it's about 400 pixel, it will be somehow like this. Yeah. So by default, I left it by default for the time being. We will come to that also. Now I'm just getting this by default without adjusting it. Now the border is might be much better if we just put it some kind of gray. Gray is good sometimes, and this is what we have for the time being, and that's the importance of this. But now I want to change the background of this, guys. The background of this is some kind of light blue, green, and so Help me out, guys, to change a different background for this. Yeah, first I gave similar style. Now I want to give them a different style. How do I apply that?
I think you have to use style for each.
Yeah,
box.
how? And yes, that is. So how?
You need to find
So
like
I have to create
front end here. Yeah.
ID section 1. Do you think it's a very good name? Yeah, we called this class as a section, and calling this section 1 as in ID is a very good name. Yes, so I can apply this too, and I call this one. What do you think this is going to be?
Section 2.
Yes, great. And of course, then it's a matter of just counting, right? So this is their unique ID, and they are going to be called by that. So do we have only 3? 1, 2, 3, 4. But where's the other? I don't see the others. Computer. So this should be 4 then, guys. 4. Yeah, this is 3. Yeah, 2. Great. So now I want to make this somehow green, the section 1. So I can say, since it's an ID, I have to use section and then 1, and this is background color, and it's green. So if you see just primary green is not good, I go for some green, something like this. Some lighter green makes somehow sense. Yeah, even maybe just some lighter shade of green. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, now let's apply the same thing for the other. I copy this and change actually from 1 to 2, and I want this to be a shade of just some kind of blue, and just a shade of something like this. Yeah, then let's again copy and paste. Everybody in here is a copycat. So, and let's just a shade of purple. Why not? It looks maybe good, you know? You never know. So let's just go somewhere around and make it look good. And how about this shade of, I think is it 4? Yes, 4, and make it a shade of somehow just yellow. And just something somewhere around. Oh no. Yes, what do you think? The border is not good now, so we don't need any common border. So it just looks good without a border, just free. Yeah. What do you think, guys? Did you get the difference between ID and class? The question, did you get the difference between an ID and a class? That's what I want to ask you. No.
Can you explain it again? So the ID, I don't know.
Okay.
So you use class for many?
Yeah, let me just
Section.
explain to you in an easy way. So, where do we live, all of us? Tell me now, right now, where do we live currently?
Excuse me?
Where do we live now? For instance, if I ask you this question, what would be the answer? Finland. Yeah. So the student, for instance, if I create some, but if I ask, what's the nationality of the students? It will be different, right? So
Yes.
yeah, that's a common case all the time. So when we create something, class is a big thing. Okay, the nationality of the student is different. So, but even now, this doesn't make a good statement. Some of you might be from Russia, more than, or from Ukraine. So there will be more than 2 people with the same ID. So most of the time we give numbers as ID. ID, you have like Kirsi have her own ID. Yeah, that is specific for you. It will not be duplicated, and it's just for you. But nationality is not just only for you, right? When I say who is from Finland or who is Finnish speaker, everybody say me. So something common is class and something specific is ID. Does it make sense?
Yes.
So now in these boxes, what is in common for these boxes? The boxes are, for instance, they have a kind of like, they have something in common. The difference of this box is actually their background is only the difference. So that's why I use like 1, 2, 3, 4, and I use a different color, a different ID to apply different color. So there's no any way. For instance, if I want to make this guys, the box border, I mean the border radius a bit instead of sharp like this, how about if I want to them a bit smooth, circular border, where do I apply it? Here?
Section.
Why not here? Border radius, and I want 10 pixel. Have you seen only the first? Yeah? That's not what you want. Instead, just you put this and you apply all of them at once. Have you seen? That is the importance of class, because you want all of them to be somehow similar. I think 10 looks too much, but 8 will be the sweet spot, or maybe 5, I don't know. There are some good graphic designer here who can help us to find the right spot. Or yeah, did you get it, Kirsi, now the difference between ID and class?
Yeah.
Yes, remember, whenever you create an ID name, you should only create it once. For instance, I used section 1 here. I'm not going to create any section 1 with the same name. It should be different. If I create section, another box, that means I have a plan to apply some similar properties. I think this is getting beautiful, right?
Yes.
Okay. So to wrap up, so now as you can see, but the other pages are still ugly, but one of the pages somehow okay. Next week also, I will teach you how to, the same thing, how to select. We are not yet in CSS, okay? Because to teach HTML also, we have to touch the CSS part a bit. So now we are touching it. Okay, most of the lesson here is actually all about CSS, so it takes quite a lot of time to master. Now, actually, instead of writing this, we can even write this in a different file. So I can create a file here. I call it main.css. Have you seen the name of the file? It has an extension CSS. Then, instead of writing it here, I can just take all this too. As you can see now, I'm not going to have anything. I removed it and then put it here like this. Now it looks beautiful. If you don't have it, I can click and give you. I can copy and give you here. Yes, then you have to connect this. How do we connect? We have this link. After you write link tab, after you write link here, tab, it creates this href and main.css. Oh, it applied. So you take this link to contacts. Take it to the contacts. or take it to the about. Where is the about? Yeah, it's here. Okay, we put it here. And now we may have similar, I think when you click here. Oh, why we don't get the same thing? Can you tell me, guys? Maybe I think we didn't give the same. So now, for instance, we didn't give ID here. What's the ID for here, if you remember, guys? Who is following me? Menu.
Okay.
Menu. So if you click now, yeah, it's menu. So it's now I can go again to the contacts and modify this class ID, and I call it menu. Oh no, not to the list, but to the
Under list.
yeah, no,
On the UL.
yes. Yes, right away. So have you seen just where we write it? So when you write it in a separate style sheet, it makes you productive. You write it once, it can be applied everywhere. If you change it here, it will change everywhere. So it will be somehow okay that way. So we will develop this more, and then I will push this to that GitHub link. I think which one was it? Maybe, I don't know. Here, I will push it and you will get it there if you want to replicate it. Or you can watch it from the YouTube. I think I can close today's lesson here. So by stopping the recording,